Thank you for choosing to watch another free e-learning tutorial from dakinane.com. Today's free learning lesson will cover some of the key productivity features of Microsoft Word's 2013 edition. In particular, we'll be looking at setting up and executing a mail merge, then we will look at formatting footers for productivity, and finally we will look at the brilliant Find and Replace tool. So let's not delay a moment longer and dive right into today's free learning. Today's tutorial we're looking at Microsoft Office 2013 and we're looking specifically at mail merging. Now mail merging is a really powerful tool to help you handle data very quickly. It allows you to create generic forms that you can populate with specific data that you can import from a database. Now I'm going to show you today how to import data from an Excel database. So what we're going to do first of all here is switch from this generic letter I've created here, and we're going to switch to the Excel spreadsheet. Now if you have not used Excel before, if you click on one of the links that you're going to see appearing below in a moment, you can go to one of my earlier Excel tutorials. But if you are not too phased with Excel, what you need to look at here is my particular database that I've created here. What you need to know is that in order for your mail merge to work, all your data needs to be organized in a row. So here you can see I've created some row headers to make things easier for me to realize. This can be as long as you like. So you can see here I've got first name, and then if we scroll across you can see I've got family name, the building, the department, the office. Then we've got a list of asset numbers or asset model numbers, then the relevant serial number for that particular asset. In this case these are laptops, and then the second set of assets are related to mobile phones and then mobile telephone numbers. And you can just keep repeating that same process across. So if you had were doing this by a department, you might have 50 different assets allocated to a particular department. The key thing to remember is that whatever you do, everything has to be organized in a row. So what this guy Leonard Mortensen has got and where he is all organized in the row 2. And so everything relating to Leonard is in that row, and that's the only thing you really need to know. Is you set everything out so that everything is related to a particular person is in a row, and everything is in a column is the same. So all the buildings are the same column, all the departments are the same column, etc., etc. So once you've got that sorted and created, we can get on with our mail merge. So let's come back to the document, and here what you can see is I've got a completely standard document. Whoops, that's way too big. A completely standard document here. It's completely bogus. It's dear blank, you have been issued with blank blank blank. And what we can do with mail merge is to populate all of this information, then print it out, or you can email it. You can do whatever you like with it. So let's move and see how we can start doing all of this. Now, I'm just going to move down here so you can see the ribbon. And if you look across the tabs across the top here, mailings is the tab that we're looking for. Now beware, if you're working with an education version of or a student version of Microsoft Office, sometimes these particular features are not included. So just make sure that the license you've got is for the full version. So what we're going to do now is click on mailings. And then over here we've got this whole process, and of course the way Microsoft Office is now laid out, the ribbons run and the workflow tend to run from left to right. So the first thing we're going to do is start our mail merge, and we're going to select what kind of thing we're doing. So email messages, envelopes, labels. We're going to be doing a letter, so we're going to use this letter, not surprisingly. And then what we're going to do is select our recipients. So we're going to click on select recipients. We can type a new list, or we're going to use an existing list. Well, we're going to use the existing list. And so what pops up here is selecting my data source. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to use a database here. I'm going to use a Excel file, and then I need to browse to my Excel file. Now I've got this on my OneDrive, but you can just store this anywhere you like. And here it is called Asset Register. So I just click on that and click Open. And then all Word asks you to confirm is that you're going to be working off the first sheet, and down here, this is really important, the first row of data contains column headers. If you haven't done that, you would untick that, but as you saw on mine, I had those in bold, and I have got the first row of column headers. So we're basically saying to Word, ignore the first row. So you just click OK. And now once you've got that, it's made a link, and you can see here all of this is now highlighted up. So what we're going to do now is start to tailor our generic document to the requirements of our particular mail merge. And so we're going to come across here, we're going to insert a mail merge field. So the first thing is we're going to put one after dear. So we're going to click on insert merge field, first name, there we go. Now you can see here I've got a gap, so I can just clear that back there to make sure I comply with the grammatical rules of Word. And he says you have been issued with the following devices, blah blah blah, so laptop. So we're going to click in here, and I put hyphens in to separate things. So we're going to go insert merge field, and it's going to be asset 1, and the serial number is going to be asset 1 serial number. And you can see when you start naming and using the header fields and using this, I think it makes sense. You can actually work this out, and it's has a logical sequence to it. So we're going to repeat this process, asset 2, and come back to here, and asset 2 serial number. Now what you can do also is that you can actually format these. So I want to draw attention to these, so I'm going to make them bold, and I'm going to make them red. So now I've decided to highlight these, I'm going to just do all of these so that you can do this any way you like, and red and bold, last one, and so that just makes things stand out for you. So that now then we just need to get them to confirm that we've got the stuff in the right location, i.e. with them in their office. So we're going to insert a new merge field here that says they are in a particular building, yes, and they are at a particular department, and finally they are going to be in a particular room or office, correct. So hopefully you can see here that once you've created your generic letter, it's quite a simple process to actually install stuff, and finally we want them to sign it. So let's come down to here, a couple of spaces in, and insert merge field, first name, space, family name. Cool. Right, so now we've done that, we know where we want particular data to land, and then there, if you come along here, along the ribbon here, we can have a quick preview of the results. So click on here and we can see that Leonard, there we go, all this comes up the way we want it to be. It's all looking really good, and you can see as in Holyrood Finance in room 1203. I could have put text in front of that if I wanted to. That's all looking good, and you can, that's the first field, and if you wanted to you can just click through, or you can jump to the end. Yep, Executive Suite, that all looks good. And finally, once you've viewed all of that, you finish the document and you merge it. So let's just click on here, and we are going to print. You can edit individual documents if you wish to. All mine seem to be fine, they're pretty standard. I'm going to click on print, or I can send to email. So if I click on print, you can do all, or if you want to do the current record or from. Now this is quite useful if you use this version here. Obviously I'm going to print all because this is the first time I've printed this out. But if I'd done this, let's say at the beginning of the year, it's like an annual task that I do for all my employees, then I print all. But maybe we have a new member of staff join, or you had a member of staff leave and somebody replaced them, then you need to just print out one document. You don't need to print the whole thing. And so you can then decide to print record 9 to record 9 and click OK. There we go. Number of copies 1, click OK, and then it's all printing out. So very simple to set up. It sounds a lot more complex than it really is, and using the mail merge is a fantastic tool to improve your productivity with Office in your particular organization. So don't overlook it, don't be scared of it, get into it. It's a really good tool. Now that we've created our database and mail merged our documents together and printed them out, we now want to save this document. And depending on how efficient you are at your filing system, finding documents that you don't use terribly often can be a bit of a trouble or a bit of a challenge when you do want to find them again at some point in the future. So fortunately there's some tricks that you can do to make that easy for you. So if we look along the ribbon here, and if we click on Insert, what we can do is we can use the footer. And if you've never used footers before, they're very easy to use, header or footer. And what you can do is click on footer here. There's a whole bunch of options you can go and look at here, and they're all sorted out for you. But right down the bottom here, and I'm just going to scroll this up so you can see it. Let's click on here again. At the very bottom, can you see here it says Edit Footer? So we're going to Edit Footer. I'll just bring this back down again so you can see what's going on. And what we're going to do here, there's a whole bunch of, you can default things on the ribbon here. You can put the page number in, or date and time, document info. But if you start looking in here, quick parts, it allows you to sort of become quite specific about what you want to put in the footer section of your document. So we'll just take a quick look at this. And what we're going to do here is add a field. So we click on Field. Now, just like an Excel formula, there's a whole bunch of macros in here that you can use, address block, advance, and each one of these will tell you what they do, and you can just choose them as you go through, depending on your needs. There's a lot in here that you can do. But the one that I want to show you is this one down here under F, called File Name. Now, this is really useful because if you forget the file name, that's also something you can use as a search term to go and find it. But you can also use, let's make all this lowercase, you can also use this function here called Add Path to File Name. If you click on that, what that means is wherever you've saved it to, and the file name will be put in the footer down here. And obviously you've got to be careful you don't have a massively complex filing system. And then click OK. And here you can see now it's saved on my E drive in a folder called DK Stuff, in a folder called Work Stuff, in DAKD Limited, Admin Tools, Facilitation Resources, Acme Widgets, Doc1. And so now, if I've printed these off and I've got these on file somewhere, and I need to go and redo that, I now know where I've got this saved. So it's a really good thing to do, is being able to use your header and footer. And obviously if you take some time in here, you can organize how you want all of this sorted out. So this is what the finished document looks like. If you scroll down here, here's the mail merge document, and at the bottom here, grayed out on the bottom of every page, is the path for you. So that's a great little productivity tip for you to use as you become a power user with your Word and Excel tools in the office. The next productivity tip I want to show you in this tutorial for Microsoft Office 2013 is the Find and the Replace functions. Find and Replace are over here on the ribbon on the right hand side under the Home tab. And if we just click through here, you can see how it all changes. So the Home tab is the first one after the file, and on the ribbon it's right at the very end here. Now you can see if we scroll through this, I've typed in etc. several times down here, and I want to change that. It's just not correct. I need a full stop at the end. I'm not going to go through and do the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and replace and delete my last one. Go etc find what, and what you need to do is make sure you put a space at the end of it and change it for what you want it to be. etc full stop space. And what we're going to do here is we're going to replace all. 12 replacements, fantastic. Close. So now you can see, if we go through here, you can see, well, I've got to find one of my ETCs now. There we go. ETC just here has now got a full stop at the end of it, and as far as the computer is concerned, that's considered to be grammatically correct. So let's repeat that again. Let's look at this, e-learning. E-learning is one of those words that there seem to be 3 accepted spellings for it. So I'm going to highlight this, e-learning. I'm going to copy that, come back to replace. I'm going to delete that and paste it and make sure, yes, I've got a space after e-learning, which is really good. And now I'm going to type in the new spelling, E-L space, and again, so we're going to make sure we do that. Now the space is very important. What I'll do is I'll force an error in a moment. So let's click replace all, and it says yes, all 6. Click OK. Close. So now e-learning policies has now got the capital L in. Everywhere I've got e-learning, it's going to be appropriately done. Thanks for watching this free tutorial. Your support is important to us and we value your feedback, so please leave a comment below and also don't forget to like us. Finally, if you learned a lot from this tutorial and you want to learn more, why not subscribe to us and you'll be automatically informed of our latest tutorials when we publish them. We aim to do this every week. Click on the link above to subscribe. You won't regret it. Thanks a lot for your support.